Okay, now that I've got a bomb here, body, and I've also got a top here, I'm going to add in here another layer using the insert layer button, and I'm going to change its name. And this layer, I'm going to call it the bomb fuse. Okay, that. Fantastic. Now, making sure that I have the bomb fuse layer selected, I'm going to draw the fuse of a bomb. And I'm going to use a new tool for that. I'm going to use the pencil tool. You'll notice that the pencil tool doesn't have a fill color, it only has a line color, which is pretty obvious because it's a pencil. I'm going to make it a little bit thicker before I'm going to put up to about 6 pixels wide. And I'm also going to do something here. I'm not sure whether you're going to have this immediately highlighted in yours, but just in case it isn't, I'm going to select smooth, which means because I can't draw very well with my mouse, I'm going to draw this as smooth as I can, and then the program is going to help me to make it a little bit smoother. So I'm going to choose smooth, and that gives me an extra option down here, how strong I want that smoothing to be. So I'm going to move that up to 100 maximum. Okay. Now I'm going to draw my fuse, starting here. I'm going to go something like that. And you'll see that immediately the program has corrected any little mistakes that I've made. And there we have a perfect fuse. Great. Now we have a fuse. What we have to do next is animate that fuse and make it burn. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is make sure the fuse goes down. Then later on we're going to work on having a really nice flame. And then finally we're going to work on having an explosion for that bomb. But first of all, we've got to go over this timeline a little bit. Because remember at the very start we set our movie to be 24 frames per second. That's 24 of these per second. So if I go up to number 24 here, that means that 1 second has just passed. If I go up to 48 up here, that means that 2 seconds have just passed. And because this bomb is going to be about trying to defuse a bomb before it explodes, I reckon I'm going to take it up to about, I'm going to give myself, let's say 5 seconds to defuse the bomb. We're going to take it to 120. That's when it's going to explode. Alright, it's going to explode at about 120. So what I'm going to do is every 10 frames, or every approximately just under half a second, I'm going to take a little bit off that fuse. I'm going to do that 10, I'm going to do that 12 times. Okay, so making sure that I have the bomb fuse selected, I go up to number 10 and I right click with your right button and I insert a keyframe. Now it's very, very important that you insert a keyframe and not a frame. Make sure it's a keyframe. Okay? And it's going to appear as a little circle with a black background behind it. Okay? Don't worry, your bomb body has just disappeared. You can't see it anymore. We're going to get that back in a minute. But what you're going to do is you're going to select your selection tool up here. I'm going to click in the background so that the fuse isn't selected anymore, and I'm going to take a little bit off the end of the fuse by selecting a bit of that and pressing the delete key. Watch it go. There you go. Okay, so the fuse has just got a little bit shorter. Now I'm going to do the same thing again, but this time I'm going to frame number 20, making sure that I'm on the fuse layer. I'm going to right click here again and I'm going to insert another keyframe. This time, exactly the same thing. I'm going to click once in the background to make sure the fuse isn't selected. And I'm going to take another little square off the end of that fuse, something like that. I'm going to press the delete key, watch it go. There we go. Same thing again, 30. Right click, insert keyframe, click on the background, take another chunk off that, delete key, off it goes. 40. I think you should be getting the hang of this by now. So I'm just going to do it all automatically now. Up to 50, same thing again, keyframe, click in the background, take a bit more off, 60, take good chunk off that time. Move over here so I can see my timeline a little bit better. It's our keyframe, click on the background, take a bit off, bang, 80. Same thing, right, it's getting pretty short now, it's going to explode pretty soon. Keep your eyes open. It's our keyframe. Get a bit more off. 100. It's our keyframe. Getting very, very close to the end now. 110, just one more to go. Insert keyframe. I'll take nearly all of it off there. And when I get to 120, which is approximately where I should be, I'm going to insert my keyframe, and this time I'm going to remove the whole thing. What's left, I'm just going to get rid of it. Select it, press delete. Right? Fantastic. Now, what I've done here, if I go back to the very, very start, I click above my time frame, and I drag across to the right hand side, I can see that going down. Okay, drag it the other way, I can see the frame, I can see it going back to the very, very start. Okay, so again, if we click on our first frame, we see the whole lot, and then after that, we just see the bomb fuse, and we see the fuse getting smaller and smaller. Alright, back to the start, and well done. That's how we start off making the fuse smaller.